entertainment, current events, and Hollywood. Don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha Bean, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Hello, everybody. This is Look at Me. I'm so happy to be back on the show and be chatting with you.
Yeah, me too. I'm so happy to see you. It's been like what I think like 2 years maybe since you've been back on the show.
Yeah, it's been exactly about 1.5 years.
A year and a half. Wow.
Yes, I remember we were last talking about Pull Me Closer, which
Yes.
was released in October 23.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, time goes so fast.
It really does. And I know, and you've been cooking, you've been making so much, you've been creating, and it's so good to see like all the things you've been working on. But for the new listeners that don't really know much about your story, tell us a little bit about your childhood. What was that like growing up, and when did you kind of fall in love with music?
All right, so, well, I don't want to make it boring as everybody. Just the story of my life.
Never.
Yeah, it's just been like something I've always like I've always been enjoying arts. Like when I was 6 years old, I was drawing drafts of like clothes, fashion clothes, I don't know out of what. And then I got the first keyboard when I was 12 years old. I was saving up money. And I managed to get like, one of those keyboards of like 300 quid or whatever. And I was just making like melodies and, ideas. I really felt in love with making music, expressing my feelings with it. So, it's something that it always light me up in a way. It always gave me that light when everything else was dark. So when I was 18, I then left Italy and I went to London. So I studied music in university for about 5 years. And then since then, it's just what you can see from socials,
Yeah, you've been on it. I mean, I feel like it takes a lot of guts to be so young and to trust the process, because a lot of people, they question the journey. They're like, is it going to work out? This is a big step for me. I mean, 18 is super young. Like, I mean, have you always been very fearless?
You know what? I was in high school, like my parents always supported my ideas and what I wanted to do, but it's never been really a thing they imagined that I will be pursuing like a career in music. So when I was 17, I went to London for doing like a English course for what was it, a month? And during that month, I went to the university without saying to anybody, and I went to do the casting for the next year, for the following year. So like it was something that I've always like had in my mind that I just wanted to, live my dream after I could be with after 18 years old. So yeah, nothing planned, but I'm always been like that sort of person that I like the adrenaline of doing something that,
Same.
there's nothing planned, but it's just it's giving you the thrill, the adrenaline.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to get into this new EP that you have. I mean, I think there's well, would you consider it an album? Like there's 4 songs on it. Tell me about the process. I mean, I haven't heard any music from you in a while, and you dropped this and I was like, whoa, with the visuals, it looked amazing. Like, what inspired this?
So what happened? After actually I released Pull Me Closer, I've been working on this EP for a couple of years on and off. It's just been like a long journey because I decided to go another direction. I was working with the same producers. I was staying in my comfort zone, either in London or in the US. I've always been working with people that I knew that could get me that comfort and, to be myself in the studio. But they actually was putting barriers on me because, I was so much in the comfort zone that I was thinking about what the people wanted and never about, what actually inside my wheel. So I decided to work with this producer, Chris Dudley, back in Madrid. We met up at an event music event that we had back there in 2022. Yeah. And then after that, I just been working with him, and it's been really nice to actually see what other people tell you from the outside of your comfort zone. And just start from zero and just experiment something new without any prejudgment or preconceptional ideas of what people want. So it's been 2 years, and it just went so fast. But I had a lot of like problem as well, of course, as we all do as independent artists.
Mm,
Uh, it's been like, there've been some ups and downs in the last year, so that took a while for this to be put out.
yeah.
But as we say, there's always a rainbow after the thunderstorm. It's
But you make it look so good. Like,
Thank you.
I mean, what problems? What do you mean? But that's true. I think a lot of people kind of forget that's the process of this journey being creatives, right? We do it's like Instagram, and anything we put out, it's beautiful and it's the best photo. It's what we feel like, but it's not actually reality of like all of it.
Yeah, some people, like it was in the last couple of years I didn't really I wasn't so active on socials. Like I was, but I was not posting much about music because I was working on that and I didn't want to spoil the surprise.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh my God, you disappeared. You're not working. You're being so low key." And people don't know they're actually behind. It's
Hmm.
just like so much going on. And without having a label backing up, it's just like, you have to think about everything.
Yeah.
And I had some problems with copyrights and, like being accused of things that I was not. So I had to find a way because I'm like a small person in compared to these big industries. So it's just like people don't understand that behind this whole process there's a lot like gray sky. And
Yeah.
what we put out, of course, because we want to share with people the happy times. We want to share with people the result of our effort,
Yeah.
what we've been able to achieve. We don't want to share all the downs and the cries and the all this stuff. It's just stuff that you keep for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it's just part of the process. So I'm happy to be now in a stage where I'm just like sharing the nice stuff and what looks good.
I love that. Yeah, it's so funny. I was just on a project, and I was ahead of the visual department, and I was talking with the director, and we were kind of going over like what we were trying to kind of convey. So it's the making of, right? The making of this artist and their album. And to be in that position to see, what I see, like them getting up, someday, someone's getting sick, someone's not feeling good, but they're still going to the studio, making the music, going in and booking all the flights to have all the band to come. Like it's a huge responsibility. And I was just thinking like I think people would love to see that side, because I think it kind of adds to the humanity of like who you are. It's like, wow, this person is actually doing so much, because I don't think people understand how much work goes into being an artist. You know,
Sure,
it's
sure.
insane.
It's insane. And I think, it's easily bearable if you have like a team
Mhm.
working with you and, like everybody just dividing their duties. But as an artist, like I like to be involved in everything that I do. So for example, I do a music video, I organize the casting, and then I need to
Yeah.
hire the place for the casting for the dancers, and then I need to hire the studio for rehearsals, and then I gotta try the cameras, and then I gotta go to the shops to find the clothes. It's like just so much stuff
Wow.
that people think like, oh my God, yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, it does, but you don't know how many days I've been sleepless and just
Right.
like trying to get ideas and gather people. That's the hardest part where you just like need to rely on other people
Mhm.
to do the job. And it's just like you gotta be on the top of it, and then you gotta do your job, and then you gotta think of the music and the delivery and
Yeah.
whatever. But
I really love the visuals for this one. Like, I mean, I mean the look, the style, like, I mean, I'm sure that was, and the choreo, all of that was just really fun. How many days it take to shoot this? Did you like, what was your idea going to this, like as far as like visually, did you want people to kind of feel from this video?
so, well, as this project is like sin filtros, for people that don't know, it means no filters.
Okay.
And it's just about the whole concept behind it. either musically, visually,
Mm,
like with the delivery. It's just like the songs and the vocals have not been like that much filtered as before. Everything is raw, it's been more authentic. And the same that I wanted to approach with the visual and the music video. So for me, it was really important to start to share that message. Because before, I always like being honest with my lyrics and what I sang about. But as coming from, Italy, like a really Christian family, it's always been hard for me to show my image 100%.
mhm,
It's been like, oh, my country is not gonna like that if I show this part, if I show
mm,
this side. And I just got to a point in my life and in my career that I was like, you know what, I don't think there's more time to waste giving an image that is not 100% who I am. So for me, the most important message behind the music video was to show that integrity, show that, word that people sometimes are scared to see, two guys flirting or whatever, like people are not used to see that image of two guys getting along and
mhm.
making out. It's always been like something that, it's not that common, like people want to do a music video when you invest so much. They're just like, oh, if you want to be liked by people, by the majority, then just do something that is convenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the most important with this video was just to show the integrity, the originality, not difference whatsoever, and just like a message of love behind it all.
Yeah, I love that. I love that I mean, because you have to kind of be fearless, right? To in order to be an artist. Like you said, a lot of people want to put you in boxes and say, well, this is what you should sing about, and this is what you should, because this is what it is, and you want this. And it's like, no, but then you're not being your authentic self. So I love that you kind of are you just not going to accept those boxes or constraints that people want to put on you. I love that. Right.
No, it was like the also like it shows the parts where I'm like running in the street and then
Yeah.
just being lost. It shows like it's actually the beginning of this EP, which starts up as like a confusion, as a sort of stage where I started writing this that I was like, I ended a relationship. It was still like, the thing when you leave it and then you take it back and then you leave it and take it back. And you don't know if it's actually feeling, if you're in love with the person or you're in love with the feeling.
Mm,
It's like that confusion. And it all started from there. And that's why in the video, it's also like there's some parts where I'm like running and I feel like lost, confused. But then, I find my way slowly towards the end of the EP. So
I love
you'll get there eventually.
I love that. Yes, I did. And everyone should go watch it. Go watch it. It's amazing. We'll have the link in the description, like box and everything. So, I know that you blend reggaeton and pop together. How did you develop this unique sound? And, you know, what drew you to these two genres, like to merge these two
Hmm.
together?
All right. So, well, I will say, first of all, the people that I was getting more involved with. That definitely influenced my direction that I was taking. For me, it's really, it comes natural because I love to write songs, not as a dedication, but just like it's something that I feel, but that I cannot express to the person. Um, so you all started from there, and I've been like doing reggaeton songs before. I was going more towards the hip hop and R&B in the last year when we last talked about my music
Yeah,
as I like to experiment and always, serve a little bit of everything and, just be like enjoying like different kind of music and sounds. So, because the last years it was more like in the US and UK, more like sort of British, I was like, I need to get back to that Latin roots that I've always been, in love with.
I love
So,
that. I love that. So I have a fun question, and you know, I'm curious of your answer for this one. But if you could have coffee with any living legend or dead, um, just for a coffee date, who would it be and why? And what question would you ask them on this coffee date?
oh my God. Well, because I've got icons, but I'm not sure if I picture myself having a coffee with them. But you know what?
Never know, never know.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? I imagine myself having a coffee with is Lily Allen.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, she's always been so fierce and, I saw her once. I met her once here in London, and
Nice.
she's always been like reluctant and just showing herself, like no matter what people say. So yeah, I do imagine myself having a coffee with her, maybe one day.
What would you ask her on the coffee date?
Why would you give up music?
Great question.
Yeah, she took a break and she said a few times that it was for like family reasons and stuff like that. But I will probably ask her that question.
I love that. I love that. What do you do to keep this biz like, we're in this crazy music like entertainment business. We love it. It has a lot of ups and downs. What do you do to kind of stay balanced, to stay like, because sometimes it can become overwhelming. What are some things that you implement to kind of stay balanced?
You know what? I can tell you about it because I'm from the 90s going into the 20s generation.
Yeah,
So
same.
like yeah, like I'm experiencing in the last couple of years, I'm just like experiencing all these updates and all these new technologies that I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's just like, and what is really important, like I think it's a balance because I like to take my time off from socials sometimes. That's very important for me because, as you know, from our generation, we didn't really have like till I was probably 20. We didn't really have that need to be like filming and posting stuff. There was no story whatsoever.
Right.
All this. So it was just like everything in the memories, and I think it was more authentic because we just lived the moment back then much more than we do now. So I need that time off sometimes to just reconnect with myself.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to have like a sort of balanced between the two.
Yeah.
But I also gotta say, like, I'm right now, for example, that I'm doing like a new whole marketing strategy for the songs. I had to go back on TikTok and I'm seeing like videos. Like, honestly, it's taking me ages. Like, I feel so old. I'm like, I bought my lights and all the stuff, the equipment needed. And then I was like doing a video and recording it in 5 minutes. But then to edit it, I was like, what is happening here? I had to see tutorials and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, yeah, it's funny to tell, but it's not funny to be experiencing that.
Yeah, I couldn't do TikTok anymore. I honestly, I
Yeah.
was on it and I was trying to do the thing, and then I was just like, this is a lot. This is super stressful because it just felt like it's I don't know. Instagram seems like it's my pace. It's like a good pace. I
Mhm.
upload and then I can go away.
Absolutely. I feel so much in my comfort zone on Instagram.
Yeah,
It comes like so quick to do stuff and engaging. But then, because we're releasing this new music and, in Spain did the whole marketing for TikTok. And I
nice.
was like, guys, you're not giving me that. It's like 4 or 5 TikToks a week. And there's a whole criteria
Oh,
behind it. And then sometimes you accidentally put the drafts or whatever. And
yeah.
it's a headache, but we're doing it, we're serving. So.
That's amazing. So what do you want people to walk away once they listen to this album, these amazing songs that you released? What's the feeling that you want people to walk away, or the message that you want listeners to walk away with?
And the message that I want people to take away is just literally to be unapologetic in themselves
Just
and
be
be
yourself.
aware. Yeah, just be aware of your virtues. Like, if somebody is accusing you of your flaws, nobody's perfect, like don't put attention on that little comment that somebody gave to you, but just, think about your persona and what that can enrich to your life. And there's a bit of everything in this project. It starts with Slow Jam of Toxico, which is the lead single, of course, but it goes straight in with the second track, Sindomir. It's a really dance up tempo, sort of Farruko style. And then there's the third track, which is a ballad, and it's more autobiography. It's a sort of autobiography, critical. It can be a bit fierce and raw, but it's just to slow down the tempo a little bit, and then it goes to the last track, which is actually my first Italian song.
Oh
It-
wow.
yeah, I'm from Italy, but I never did put any song out
Holy
in
crap.
Italian. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Amazing.
I always felt that writer's block when writing in Italy, in Italian. So yeah, it finished with that song, which is like a little surprise for the fans.
Nice.
And I think, people can just vibe with it and take away all this being integrity and authentic, which is what matters the most nowadays. Everybody else is taken. You need to be yourself.
And that's the thing is like I think a lot of times people forget that because of social media and because we're online all the time, there's this where there's so much information being kind of constantly thrown at us, and it can feel a little overwhelming of like, okay, what do I do? What's my thing? I think a lot of people that like listen to this show, they write in and they say they love hearing about like, you know, how do you as an artist, you know, continue to just stay on this path, because no one's path is certain. We don't know for sure if it's left or right or up or down. We're just
Don't know.
throwing paint to the wall, and trying to figure it out. So what advice would you give to people that are on that journey of music and are trying to find their voice?
If make people feel less lonely, we all get that kind of feelings when we're like, like just balancing between shall I give up? Shall I keep going? Is it gonna be worth it? Is it gonna give the fruit of what, I'm cultivating? It's really like a matter of uh being, just persistent and just be, I think it's really important to be 100% sure of what you can give to the world.
Yeah.
But sometimes we feel the lack of it because we don't see what's, something motivating us. But if you're really 100% sure that you're bringing something to the table, that, people can get away with something new, something fresh, something that resonates with them as well. Because, we're all human beings. We all go through heartbreak times and, ups, downs, parties, crazy times, fun, whatever. We all do these kind of things. So it's really important to be sharing that if you're feeling like somebody can connect to it, because that's the final goal of the music. When you manage to reach people and see that people relates to it, then you're halfway there, I will say.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Um, Really quick, where can people find you on social media to follow everything that you have going on?
All right. So first of all, it's look at me. It's really easy. Same on all socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, I would say. It's just I'm look at me. So I am look at me. And Filtros is out, is on Spotify and all platforms. Let's share it, let's dance to it. And new music is coming soon. Some other stuff, collaborations that I'm working with. So just, keep updated and vibe with my sound.
Absolutely. Absolutely, we will. Absolutely. Come back anytime. We love you here on the show. You're absolutely incredible. And I just love seeing the journey of what you're doing. You're always topping your next yourself, your other self. Like last year, or when you were back and I listened to that was a great song, and this one comes out, you have like 4 new songs. I'm just like, whoa, it's like, who is this guy? I love it. I love seeing the evolution of you, and it's just beautiful to see. So thank you for sharing your talent with us and with the world.
You're more than welcome. It's a big deal, it's a big deal. But it's really nice to be sharing this with people and being able to put out music, that's a blessing, first of all. Whatever, however it goes, we never know what happens. So it's really important for me to be able to be doing this. So
Absolutely.
thank you for having me once again. And anytime I'll be happy to super be back.
Always, always, all love. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. See you.